It's Friday morning. We are harvesting the wheat behind the yard. That combine looks massive when you get it in a small field. We've got to cut it in two stages. We've got the bit that was sown in the winter and the bit that was flooded, and then we had to re-drill in the bottom there. So we'll probably cut that in a few weeks, but this is a little bit damp, but what we cut yesterday was, so while we're on damp stuff, we've just mixing it all together now. But that's a tidy load in the combine now. That splitter's working amazing. Can you see the chaff spreaders? So they're throwing the chaff out the sides of the combine. That's like cloud of dust either side. Look at the efficiency in that. It's still threshing it, yet leaving the flag leaf on. Just on the short passage now. We've gone around the flooded area that we're going to cut in a few weeks. It's still bottle green. Not the best of crops, but we had it at 9.6 tonnes a hectare a minute ago. What's that? 7.5, 7.7, 7.2. See it a bit thin in places. Had a bit of slug damage this because it was after OSR as well. But surprisingly, it's yielding better than we thought it would. John's nearly finished this bit here. This has got a bit of weed in it. This is the bit we patched up. It'd be interesting to see how green it is. It's obviously miles behind. It'd be interesting to see how much yield we get off this bit that was flooded. I know we had to drill it twice, but there was a bit of seed left over. It was a variety not suitable for late sowing. I don't know whether it's Dorsum or Champion, but looks like it's filling the grains well. Just emptying this front hopper because we're going sow an SFI mix, and as an experiment we're going to blend a little bit of Clearfield OSR in with it. See how that goes. Is that all that was in there? Yeah. Oh, it's a jam. Goes everywhere this because it hits that on the way down. Always look after your seed stocks. Don't leave them full where mice can get them. This is the field we were doing the fungicide trial on. We're actually going to try and cut it this afternoon before we go back to Bill's cutting barley. Is that that fence too expensive? Look, James. Randomly, when we took the header off the trailer, it started leaking oil there. I don't know why. It's not now. We pulled the umbilical on, plugged it in. Well, that's ready to go. So we'll mow off the headland, which is quite frankly awful, and get into the centre of the field. And we're going to take a sample out of the bushel weight, and we're going to do 3 passes treated and 3 passes untreated on a bit of the field that looks the most even and the same length tram lines, and we're going to weigh it, and then obviously the GPS will also be mapping it as well. Can you see how that row there is a lot smaller than that row? That just shows you, because that doesn't get the rest of the fertiliser, the ditch there, so the fertiliser won't throw right near the ditch. You can see just in the straw that there's probably 40% more straw in this pile than that pile, which means that this 6 metres ahead is probably yielding a lot more than that, and John's just said it's reading 9.2 tonnes a hectare along here, which is pretty decent to be honest, so I'm quite pleased with that. Can you see the depth of them tram lines? So I think what we're going to do, we're going to do 3 passes on this field. We only normally do 2, but it means when the baler's baling, it's not bouncing up and down. So if you look, we normally do 2 passes, that one and that one. Well, we've done 3. So when we bale the middle, we'll be able to turn without bouncing across these ruts here, because they're pretty harsh. See a wet hole that flooded there. Anyway, we're nearly finished the headlands, done half of them. We're just topping the trailer up slowly, because I need a full load to fill a drying floor. I've had to pull out the way of them power lines over there. Can you see them? They can nearly be invisible in the sun and the dust. The only hopper that doesn't have a slider so you can slop the metering unit is the front one, and the metering unit we put in isn't quite big enough to get the speed he wants, so he's having to empty the hopper onto a seed sock and go again. Good job we got 2. The big hoppers you can put a metal shutter in and swap the paddle wheel mid-fill, shall we say. can't we, that one? I want to follow the linkage up on this Q series, but that pin doesn't go all the way through and I can't get it out, which is really annoying. So I'm going to have to get a crowbar behind it and try and wriggle it. Hopefully get that behind it. Well, them link arms, they don't go right through, so we're going to have to that behind and pull the pin out. That's it. WD, probably be a lot better. I've got my link arms folded up. Morgan looks like he's sorted the right rotor in the drill, and he's off out now, drilling SFI 30 mix. That's it. What's it, 22 foot? 20 foot. They're on the way to Herefordshire to pick up some bees.
Nearly as wide as well.
It is a width. Is it 8 foot, that?
Yeah.
That won't fit down the roads in Herefordshire.
You're scraping edges.
Scraping the edges. He's going picking up the bees from, I think they've been on an apple orchard in Herefordshire, and bringing them back and putting them on our Phacelia. Have fun. It's a good night out, Herefordshire.
Well, if we get there in time, 4.5 hours it's in with traffic.
Oh, you need a quicker car.
Yeah, we're staying over that, so hopefully smash these bees up when we get there, and then we can have a few bevies.
Right, very good. That is why we're cutting it today, because these pigeons are eating it. Anyway, we've done 3 passes on the headland now. No, he's not, he's done 2 here. Oh. Is he not going to do a third? I don't know whether Siobhan's been caught short, she's squatting, or it's a camera. We're obviously taking some pictures for the trial we did. Just cutting this corner off. The tractor fits perfectly down the split row. John's just moved the white stick and we're going to go and cut through the middle now and weigh 3 passes. I've just tipped, so I'm empty. Rob was empty. He's going to have 3 passes in his trailer that's without, and I'm going to have 3 passes in my trailer that's with Thiopron, and we'll weigh it and see the difference, and then obviously we'll have the yield maps off the combine as well when we process them. See the blue skies today. Yesterday was the worst day for solar since March, yet we managed to bail all day. We're just going to go and get the other half tank full and take it back and weigh it. Rob's got about 3/4 of a load on there, so he's going to go and tip. I'm going to then take 3 passes from this side, and Rob's going to come back and take 3 passes from that side, and then backwards and forwards. So we're actually going to be able to replicate it twice. We're back now, moment of truth. We'll see what weight's in this trailer compared to what weight was in Rob's trailer. Right, I've come back with a load. I had 12.3 tonne on. Rob had 13 tonne on. There is no reason why there should be less other than the soil type on that side of the field. So we'll see what happens now with the next trial. Power lines are quite low, so we're just going to empty on the roadside, mainly because Rob drove off without getting the last bit. So the soil type of the field changes all the way over. So the first trial results, it looked like the stuff had done worse, but then it's getting better. So we're just running the trial, repeating it all the way over, and we might get a bit more consistent data. That David, or Mark, or Ian. Oh, it's Ian. Olivia's on now. Classic Fent on a day out. Pokes. Just found this in the field. A whipped cream calf canister, along with someone's number plate. You don't want that going through the baler or through the combine or anything. Into the spring barley, we are going to keep the cab door closed because there's some dust coming out the back of that, and it's itchy dust.
Film over here.
What'd you say?
Film over here. It's a good shot.
Well, I'll film when he comes past.
Well, he is. Look at him.
Everything's off now, heading to the lighthouse. Yeah, it's a bit dusty, isn't it? This was the field of wheat we cut when we were filming Tractor Ted. Anyway, we split the rows. They've turned it today, this morning, and Rob's just mopping it up now. Unfortunately, he's having to go up. He's not got the rake on the front, so he's just having to do every row as it is, but it don't matter. He's fair moving. He's done most of the field actually in the last half an hour, which dried really well. Whereas if it had been a big thick row, I don't think it would have done at all. I think it took a few days longer to dry. And it's in the wind round here, but Oscar is that, well, it's done them. Oscar's stacking them up in fours because they're all caught in grain now from John, their barley. So we're just baling his wheat and stacking it up for him. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking in riddles, but I've just heard some sad news. So yeah, a guy we know from one of the local dealerships has died. So yeah, kind of throw a curveball. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but seeing as how the company's put it on Facebook and Instagram tonight, yeah, really sad loss. Paul Reeves, he was the guy we were getting the next Merlot off. Yeah, another look after yourself, people. Anyway, I've just come back for the last load now. Go and weigh this. Obviously moved the combine to Bill and Joe's. Go and weigh this, and then we'll look at the yield map results for the trial that we were doing. Right, so the results of the trial were quite difficult to work out, but what was pretty much clear is, where are we now? Everywhere that had the UPL stuff, the fire prawn was reading 1% higher on the bushel weight. Is it? I'm trying to work it out now. 75.61, 75.99 without 75.09, 75 with 73.78 without. So yeah, that was the headland as well. But yeah, that was with 12.5 up and down ton. That one was without 3 strokes, 13.2, then with 13.58, then without 13.960, and then with 14.540. So the field got better as we went over. It looks like, because it got longer, but if you look at the yield map there, you can't really see much difference. But what you can see is that 1% bushel weight higher is real facts, because it doesn't matter about the length of the field or whether there was weedy patches or wet patches. As you can see from the map, there was all sorts of wet patches. That's the red bits. Even the tram lines, you can see every single tram line, because obviously we've gone through in wet conditions. But 1% higher bushel weight on the yield off that field at just over 3.5 ton wet weight per acre works out at 1.25% yield increase. Doesn't sound a lot, but if it's £200 a ton and we've got 3.5 tons to the acre, it's about £10 an acre lift off something that costs us between £3 and £4 to put on. So not massive, but if you're getting an extra 1% yield on 1,000 acres, it starts to add up, doesn't it? It's these incremental changes, and it wasn't the best of years, and it wasn't the most even of crops. Maybe we should try it again next year on a different field, and hopefully we'll have a more even crop, because it won't be susceptible for the wet. But that's the yield map anyway. Hope you found it interesting. It kind of surprised us at first, because it looked like it hadn't worked until we started to replicate it going across the field, and we were like, oh no. But anyway, there you go. Looks like Oscar's finished stacking straw. And now Rob's back with the baler. But it's not even dark. Is he clean now? It looks smart. No, it is actually dusty and dirty. Oh, have you got stuck again?
I'm never going on that piece of land.
That grass.
Get your flail out, Joe.
Yeah. when he got stuck the other week, they left it and they tried to bail it again today, but it started sinking, as you can see.
It was a patch where I started bogging and I thought, so I floored it to get out and jam the pickup reel.
Did you not lift it up? No. I mean, like, lift it up to get out?
Yeah, it was up.
What, and that's just... So is that grass or soil?
Right.
All right.
So basically, like, because I've gone quicker through a big patch to get out of the mud, it just pushed all the grass and got the pickup reel.
All right. Oh well.
What's easier, unblocking grass or unblocking soil?
Probably the grass.
Exactly.
It's still jammed. He pulled a little bit out and then just decided he was going to leave the rest of the field. But yeah, you're going to have to pull the rest out before it'll start up. While they're getting all the tracks in the shed and locking them up, I'm going to quickly do the birthdays. So we've got Stuart Rob is 50. Stuart Rob's 54. Philip Taylor's 12. Isabella O'Leary is 7. And Kevin Jones is 55. And we're just short of 73,000. Thought we might have done it today, but we've not. So happy birthday everyone on there and anyone else whose birthday it is. John's still cutting. I'm going to edit what you've just watched, then going to go and pick some food up and go down and feed everyone that's still combining. So that is all for today. I think it's important that you're all AnswerAsAPercent how you're feeling today. I've had a decent day, just some sad news, so 80%, but you know, we've got on well. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Let us know how you are as a percent, and I'll see you tomorrow.